everybody, and welcome to the final episode of this season of the Challenge World Championships on the Right Reality Podcast. My name is Stephen.
And my name is Mixie. We are here to recap episode 12 of the Challenge World Championship World Domination. And was it the best episode yet? Yes, it was. And you guys know, I am a woman of my word. And I said very long ago, the day that Sarah leaves this motherfucking show is the day I pop fucking bottles on the podcast.
What?
Let's go.
Wow.
We're popping
No
bottles.
way. Oh my God.
Watch your eyes, everybody. Watch your eyes. Theo, I'm so
Theo
sorry.
Theo Duck.
I'm so sorry that you were injured, but fuck Sarah. Let's go. Woo!
Oh my God. She's drinking just straight out of the bottle. Let's go!
Excuses are for wussies.
Guys, she's got the shirt.
I got the
she
shirt.
has the shirt.
I got the shirt. I got the bottle. Let's check this out. Am I not a woman of my word? Every time. Every time.
Goodness.
This is good champagne. I will drink it out of the bottle the rest of this because we are celebrating.
Hell yeah, we are. Let's go!
Let's go! Sarah fucking sucks.
Oh,
and she didn't
God.
win. Hooray!
Our great potential American nightmare scenario did not play out. Thank the good Lord that he decided, I'm going to look down upon everybody, understand what the world needs, me being God, and I'm going to roll the shit out of Theo's ankle just to make sure everybody knows that I'm still the big man in charge here, and I'm going to do everybody a solid and save us from that nightmare. So shout out God.
Shout out
who,
God.
You know, I didn't go to church growing up or anything like that, but shout out God.
Shouts out.
Shouts out to the Lord and Savior. You know?
Raise the roof.
Yeah, you know, he could have been doing other things, but he was like, no.
He knew it was important.
He did. He was like, I got to make sure that these people believe in me. Let me do this thing real quick.
And shout out to Theo for taking one for the team there. We appreciate you. We have no ill will towards you. Just that fucking bitch that runs the Arby's.
Yeah. Speaking of Arby's, coming up on this week's show, everybody, as we celebrate and a fantastic ending to this show, we will have the meats. And by we, I mean Mixie. It's right there off screen. Arby's, DMs are open.
Maybe.
How about you slide in now in case it goes horribly wrong, and we'll make a brand deal before it goes horribly wrong?
No confidence, Stephen. No confidence.
I really don't, because who knows? So we have Mixie having the meats coming up. Mm-hmm. Also coming up on this week's episode, Sarah not winning, but a special piece of audio that will be played from the moment me, Mixie, and special guest who viewed it all together, the three of us, Mom LaFrank was in town.
We had a viewing party.
So you will hear the audio of us realizing Sarah has been eliminated. So enjoy that. That's coming up. And also, maybe I gave it away, the return of a special guest at this point to give her thoughts on this season. But Mixie, let's just take another moment. Have another sip of champagne.
I will. I mean, I might get a straw and just fucking sip on it this whole time, man. I am so happy. And listen, was it the way I wanted it to go down? No. I wanted Sarah to be the reason why they were out. But I will say, if Sarah was any good at this game, they would have been in a better position, and Theo might have pushed through it. But they were so far behind; they got lapped.
Oh God, that was great.
Obviously, they threw the towel in.
When they showed the very important graphic, the only one, because that was
graphic.
That was helpful. There was other graphics that we'll talk about coming up later that I just think we're done for this podcast as per usual. I was like, I think Jordan and Kaz might lap them. Oh my God, wouldn't that be something? And then that happened. Oh, I was laughing like a deranged clown.
We had the best time watching this. It was just it was made for us. It really was. It was a great final. I really liked it. It had a lot of different elements in it. I mean, there was a point in the beginning where they were like the Fear Express, and I was like, okay,
the Fear Express, where literally no things of fear happened.
Yes, and also the fact that the last episode, Mr. TJ, who sometimes handles and is also a BMX legend and Hall of Famer,
and might also now be a
train conductor
on the weekends. So are we amending it to be Mr. TJ, Hall of Fame, BMX legend, Mr. TJ, who sometimes handles and is a weekend train conductor?
I don't know. We'll try.
That's a bit much.
But he said at the end of the last episode, the final starts now. And we're like, oh, wow, the final starts now. The final did not start till the next day. They just slept on a train.
Yeah, they just slept on a train.
Which is not bad.
So okay. You know, they put him in the train station that I felt was like out of a 1940s film noir. And I was like, they just have a smoke machine behind TJ to make it. I was like, is this final going to be in black and white? Are we doing like a Knives Out type situation here? What's going on, Mr. TJ, with you and your little train situation? And then when I thought it couldn't get worse, the fit that you teased last week.
I knew you were gonna love this fit. When I saw it in the teaser last episode, I fucking I didn't have a drink in my mouth, but I spit taked anyways. Like, it was, I mean, who put him in? Whose idea was this whole thing? Like, to put him in this outfit, for him to say, okay, these outfits that they put them in later for no reason, like the whole costume aspect of it. I mean, I didn't dislike it. I was just confused.
I disliked it and I was confused. I didn't dislike seeing Kaz in that little outfit because that was nice. But the suit just didn't fit TJ. It's as if they TJ. It was like in the movies where the bad guy murders the actual train conductor, but he was a larger gentleman, and then TJ is just going to pretend he's a train conductor for the rest of the movie. The suit was like 3 sizes too big.
Yeah.
The hat was just horribly shaped for his head.
Terrible.
Can we not get Mr. TJ a suit that fits? Was it really not supposed to fit? Was he supposed to look like a deranged lunatic? Did they tell him the entire time, I don't need you to smile? Or was that just how he felt in the moment, looking at himself in the mirror going, I look like a buffoon?
Yeah, I want to know how much of a bonus he got for having to put that hat in an oversized suit on.
And they made him keep wearing it, Mixie. It wasn't just like a little gimmick up front.
Uh-huh.
Oh, poor guy. I'm just like...
Rough.
Mr. TJ, who handles and now's a train conductor. Thank God there's no trains in Vegas, I guess. Maybe there is, but shit. I don't think that's a new career for him.
No.
He can continue to handle and be a BMX legend, but let's not go train conducting. While we're speaking about the train, Fear Express, that's the best we could come up with?
I agree. I think I said that out loud when we saw it. I was like, really?
I think this is a hottie in YouTube's mission this week. We need better names for the Fear Express, and honestly, probably any name you give might be better than Fear Express. So when I hear Fear Express, Mixie, I'm thinking there might be some fearful things going on, some scary moments. They tried to make the IV situation look like, oh, we injected you with a poison. Now you're dead. And it's like, no, it's just regular IVs.
There were so many points of this when, the way that Mr. TJ... described it, how he was standing there, how he was staring off into space. I was like, why are they doing this? It just made me wildly uncomfortable. And I guess they were trying to keep them on the edge of their seat and us, what's going to happen next? But obviously they're not going to poison these people. I mean, Sarah already did it to Ben at the beginning of the season. So we don't need to be poisoning anybody else. That story arc is done, you know?
Done and completed, and we moved on from it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. They wanted to create this false sense of something was going to happen. But unless everybody missed this, there was a few moments, and of course we caught it because we're the number one. that train went back to the station at the end of the night because it was parked. Mm-hmm. It was parked somewhere. It was at a train station.
Yep.
While they were sleeping and doing everything. Because there was a moment where, like, he's waking them up, and you can see out of the corner of the windows at one point, there's, like, a cooler and, like, a guy walking by. I'm like, okay, so they're at the train station.
Wasn't even moving.
If you're going to blur out somebody's shirt for the entire episode almost, let's just blur out that little piece of the window, guys. Let's button it up here a bit.
Yeah.
Who missed that upon the viewing? So, yes, that is the Facebook Hot Take Hotties thing that you need to come up with this week, as well as YouTube comment. What is a better name for the Fear Express? And go. Let's talk about the final itself, Mixie.
Yes.
16 miles? The loops of hell?
And that was just the beginning.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that sounds like hell for sure. I am curious, Stephen, because like he explained the whole thing, and there's 4 stations, and you have to, hit all of them, and you can't go to a station that someone else is at, but you have to hit all 4.
Yeah.
Do you have like perfect case scenario? You're in first all 4 rounds. Like, what order are you doing that in?
Well, that's a great question. I wrote that down because I was going to ask you that, and then I thought you would ask me that.
Well, I stole it.
Obviously, I'm going any of the 3 that are not the drinking first.
Okay.
But for the sake of the game, I would probably do the puzzle, then the toss, and then the wait, and then the drink, I think.
Okay.
I think that's the way I go about it.
So I was thinking a similar thought, any of the 3 and then the drink last. But that ended up fucking Tori and Danny.
Yes, it did.
At the end. And if Sarah and Theo hadn't quit because she's a loser, then they would have also been stuck waiting in that line as well, I think. Well, no, they drank one before because they were so far behind. But either way, like, if you're waiting for that, I feel like everybody's idea was to do that drink last. So I feel like I would have done it third.
I wouldn't want to do another lap with that. I think that you just take the risk that somebody's going to be there.
They weren't drinking it. Are we really going to play this game that they were consuming that shit?
I think they were trying to consume it, then immediately vomiting. I don't know if they were immediately vomiting on purpose. I think some of them were trying to, but some of them were actually drinking it. I think they try to refill them if they're like, no, you just put a bunch in your mouth and spit it out. I'm not believing that.
But if you just go, like, how are they going to say any different? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just loved, while we were watching it, Mom LaFranc and Mixie's reaction to people vomiting was just a shielding of the... I was just like, I can't. And I'm like, you're going to watch Sarah gag to death nearly, and you don't want to enjoy that tasty piece of television?
I've told you this numerous times. I don't enjoy watching people vomit. I watched it with... Yes, I did do this, but I separated the blinds a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
You separated the blinds. Nice.
Thanks.
Nice. I was gonna go with
I paint a picture.
You Kill Billed it, a little Kill Bill.
Oh, little Lady Gaga.
A Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. But I loved this first part. It was entertaining. I mean, again, they listened to the podcast. They heard us call out the fact that they did a loop last time, and you knew it. So they called it a loop this time and gave us a graphic that, once again,
a tracker
for a majority of the time was wildly unhelpful.
Yes. I'm like, they just started and they're all in a line. Great. Okay, one person's ahead. Great. We're 5 seconds into this. Thank you. It was helpful later to see them about to get looped, so I'll appreciate that.
Yes.
But sometimes I was just like, they called it loops, so now they can show it. Last year they couldn't show it. We didn't see it in Spies, Lies, and Allies. Jesus Christ of Latter-day
Oh my God, what was that last one? Oh, Ryder Dies.
Ryder Dies. How did we forget Ryder Dies? They didn't show it in that. Like, I never got like a status check of where everybody was. But I really appreciate that in a final like this. I want to see where they're at.
Yeah.
What is not helpful later on the bike is that when Danny
this
and
was my
Tori,
favorite.
Danny and Tori, and if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see it right now. Danny and Tori are allegedly in this image.
Hold on. This comes up on the screen, and I look to Steve and I go, no chance they're in there. And he paused it, and we sat there. They are not in that image. They just had a drone shot. They were like, shit, we got to get a graphic in here. We paid the graphic guy for X amount of graphics in this episode. We need another graphic. Let's just use this drone shot and drop a random pin in a bunch of trees and say that's where they are.
Yeah, we paid this drone guy in South Africa, and he flew this drone, and oddly enough, he just flew off into the nether regions. So let's just say that Danny and Tori are there on the bike, because they weren't. They're definitely not there. But I appreciate a good call out where it's like, oh, who's that dot? You mean that random tree and dust? Yeah. Who's that random tree and dust? It's Tori and Kiki's husband, actually.
Yeah, it is. Apparently.
Yeah. Apparently it's there. Yeah, the loop situation. I like this loop situation with the checkpoint because there is an ability for you every loop to kind of catch up if you struggle on the checkpoint, which we've seen in other ones. The War of the Worlds, they did this as well. I kind of like this. And I know there's people sitting out there. I can almost hear them in my ears. This is weak. Listen, whatever. It was entertaining.
It was.
It's 16 miles, you fucks.
Yeah, that's so hard.
16 miles. I'd like to see you be... Who's prepared to run 16 miles? And you go, oh, the people on the show. No, because even the people on the show were not prepared to do 16 miles.
Yeah, I mean, I would just like to remind everybody, Cocaine Cats does cocaine and was on Love Island.
And she does Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
I really thought I got it that time.
Oh, God. He tries, and that's why we love him. You know what I mean? But, you know, when Cocaine Cass had to stay up, I was like, that girl's got a little bit of something in her pocket to help her with that.
She's going to do just fine.
She's going to be fine.
This isn't her first all-night rodeo, okay? She is used to this, my guy.
TJ's like, oh, you get an hour. And Kaz's like, damn it, I have enough here. Let me just...
Can you open up a window? Let me just throw some of this out the window.
Yeah, I don't need all of it if I have an hour.
I brought this if I were going to be up all night. An hour. Okay. I only need half this now. Oh, man. Yeah, I like the loops overall in general. I like the checkpoints, the throwing. So I paused it on all of these. That puzzle was a little tricky because there's one of the things that has all the three numbers, but it says 2 are right but in the wrong position. But there's technically 3. All the numbers were in that one. And also, am I supposed to believe that the correct answer, 042 or 42, which is my favorite number, just a coincidence?
Just a coincidence.
Challenge producers? I mean... Tell me you listen to the podcast without telling me you listen to the podcast.
I saw maths and I was like,
damn it.
My
but
partner
it's not
would be
math.
carrying me.
It's a little brain puzzle.
Don't care.
It's like
numbers out. I would have exited that one immediately. Now I do feel like I would be pretty good at throwing the bolts because I'm an athlete, and I also feel like I would be good with the weights because again, I'm an athlete. But the other two I would have struggled with. I mean, I can't eat things that I don't like texturally. I'm a very textural eater. I can't do it.
Yeah. I'm aware of this, and that's what makes me a little afraid for the meats later. Is there might be a textural issue that comes into play.
Yeah.
And
I'm worried.
We'll see when we get there. So let's talk about the moment where God obviously stepped in and says, "Not on my watch," and proceeds to roll his ankle for our man Theo.
Yes.
Did you, while watching this, think, "Oh, it's just going to be a small little ankle roll and it's not really going to affect him," or did you think in the moment, "Here we go.
Well,
here we go"?
Now, Stephen, you were sitting next to me when this happened.
I did.
And they showed it And I go, huh? Huh? Huh?
I believe that is the exact sound you made.
And then I immediately was like, damn it. This is going to take them out. And she's going to have the excuse of, oh, my partner got injured. And that's why I didn't do. No.
Well, Mixie, what are excuses for?
Wussies.
Oh, there it is. Right there on her shirt.
For wussies. Excuses are for Sarah.
I really wish you would have just taped over wusses and written on Sarah.
I thought about it.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Amazing. I, however, thought, somehow they're going to overcome this.
Oh.
And it's going to be great. Because we had Tori and Danny early on talking about
family,
their family and cousins, and I was like, I've never seen Tori's cousins. Mm-hmm. And as I was thinking that, I was like, oh fuck.
Yes, and I also remember Theo. I said this out loud as well while we were watching it. Theo was saying, he was talking about how he didn't win last time and he wants to be a champion and like he really needs to get this win. And I was like, shit.
Yeah.
They're giving him like, because we've heard all of Sarah's reasons why she's the worst person on earth, but apparently deserves this win. And now we're hearing why Theo deserves this win. I'm like, shit, they're painting them to win this.
Yeah.
But then the ankle rolled. And I go, whoo.
Well,
whoo?
And then they kept going. And I was like, okay, he's going to walk it off. It's like one of those like little things where you kind of roll it real quick and you're like, ah, fuck. And you just shake it off as athletes do, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You've done this a million times being athletic.
Well, I snapped my ankle, but that's a whole different story.
Did you throw up when you did it?
No, but it's the funniest part of this, and this is so classic me. I was faking a screen. I wasn't even doing an actual screen. I was faking it, and that's when I snapped my ankle. Like, of course. Is that not the most classic situation of me? But yeah.
Did you flop after like LeBron?
Well, no, because fuck LeBron James. But I was in actual pain, so I did fall over. Yes, but it wasn't a flop.
No flopping here.
And of course, wasn't called. No call.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Going the other way.
I the whole time I was like, as soon as he did it, because it was like the first lap, wasn't it?
It was like it was definitely the first lap, maybe halfway through.
And I was like 16 miles or what, 15, maybe 14 at this point with a roll.
No chance. Just think about that, everybody. 16 miles. Again, a marathon is what, 30? Is marathon's 32?
I don't know. I don't run unless I'm
23? 23.6, maybe? I should know this. Marathon length. Everybody's yelling at me. 26.2 miles. So more than half a marathon these people are running.
Yeah.
And Jordan, who does marathons for fun, is in the final.
It's also not flat.
Oh, that's just the worst. There were these rocks everywhere. I would just look at the path and go, nah, I'm good. I'm going to hurt myself here somehow.
But that's the thing. Like, same thing with what happened at Ride or Dies. Like, you see that's what you're running on. You got to pay attention when you're running. Like, again, I would never wish this on Theo. Thrilled it happened. Never would wish it. But come on, man. You got to look where you're going when you're running in with these like divots, like random divots through. It was just
like there was like little dried creek beds, you know, like where water was going at one point. And he goes, I looked to the left real quick and then boom, it went. I'm like, that's on you, my guy.
It kind of is.
Totally on you.
Just kind of like Anissa's was on her. But don't worry, Jordan got the brunt of that, you know?
Yeah. Oh, he made me cut through the thing. Okay. Yeah, he put your foot there, and you just, whatever. But they kept going for a while.
Yeah.
They got lapped, which I laughed about hysterically.
Incredible.
And they brought it back around again, and they were setting it up, and I was like, okay, well, maybe they'll just get to the next day, you know, and he's going to get some treatment, and it'll be fine. It's going to be one of these things. And I was just nervous. I was just really nervous that he was going to finish. They were going to let him finish. And the next day would have been like, okay, even though you came in 6 hours behind, you get to start with everybody else.
Yeah.
But that is not what happened. It is not what happened.
It is not.
And the glory that was Theo choosing to end means that Sarah could not win the final and that she was going home. Drink that champagne, girl. Drink that champagne. I will now play for you, our audience, the sound of me, Mom LaFranc, and Mixie reacting to Sarah going home. Let's hear it.
It's over. It's over! Yes!
No way, last place. We love to see it.
Yes! Go back to Arby's! Go back to Arby's, you bitch!
Enjoy your roast beef and cheddar.
Oh, man, was that an enjoyable moment for all three of us there. You heard Mom LaFranc laughing in the background. We were telling her, go back to Arby's. What a joyous moment for everybody. I just want to know what the hotties were doing at home. Like, did anybody record themselves? Like, I want to see them.
Yeah.
If you did it, please tag us. Please send us the videos. We would love to see it. Oh my God, was that glorious.
I just want you to rate it between like the birth of your first child and then this. Like, where does it rank with those types of events? Like when you first got married, when you got your first promotion, Sarah losing. Like, where is that in the hierarchy of life events for you? Because, man, it's high for me.
I mean, it's got to be right up there with birth of first child. I don't see how it wouldn't be up there.
I would think that, too. I mean, I was on such a high, nothing could bring me down. I did not care who won this fucking show. Didn't care.
We did say that right after. We're like, well, now this is great because it doesn't really matter. We're kind of locked in for everybody.
I wanted Shaggy and Greaseback Bun Babe bad. I wanted Danny and Tori to get last just because Danny has been a pain in the ass. And honestly, Tori has been a bit annoying this season as well. I was ready for them to not do well. But let's be honest, guys. When you looked at that lineup for who was in the final, we all knew who was winning this final.
Yeah.
Especially once day 2 started and they said it started with a bike ride and then went into a run. I was like, so we just made a final for Jordan?
I mean, yes, they didn't finish the bike ride first, but this is why we've said every single time you got to get him out. And which brings me to my next question. Do we think this is why Kiki's husband, or yes, Danny's wife Kiki, was so enraged on Twitter for most of the year? I mean, she was posting some pretty fire tweets early on about the situation. It had to. I mean, she obviously knew they came in second. And like, yeah, we lost to Jordan, and that's all I wanted to do was get Jordan out. And I couldn't get Jordan out because the partner. But I'm here to say there was tons of other people who knew to get Jordan out other than you. So
yeah, like honestly, I personally think that he could have done stuff earlier in the game. Him and his genius best buddy number 1, that they could have figured out a better way to go about this. And I mean, not with Sarah because I hate her more than anything on the planet, but like I would have slightly respected the game if they had done it in a way that was well thought out. But they never did, and nothing came of it. And you can complain all you want, but it's not going to happen. Now, I do want to say something real quick because this is important. The other 3 teams did finish. That leaves us with Sarah and Theo not winning anything. But I will not let that happen on my watch.
Oh.
So, Theo, bent over, sitting down to quit, causing Sarah to come in last place is this week's...
You are shitting me!
Pass of the week. Pass of the week. Everybody's got to win, but Sarah. Now, I will say...
Wow, that was an extraordinary moment. I see the images that were on YouTube that illustrate that. But I feel like there is a lot of people questioning this decision right now.
I was going to say, you're jumping the gun now. Was there lots of booty in this episode? Yes, there was. And man, was it nice. It was real good. But everyone needs to win but Sarah. And that does take precedent. Now, did we literally see Tori's bare ass?
We did. We saw like under ass.
We did.
Yeah.
But did it cause Sarah to lose? You know, like there was a lot of asses, and in my expertise, they were on the same playing field. But one of those asses caused Sarah to not even make it to the second day, and that, in my opinion, and again, this is just my professional opinion, makes that ass just a cheek above the rest.
It's one of those things when you like, it's like the intangibles of somebody when you're trying to like, oh, they have the same speed, they have the same strength, but it's one of those intangible things. And I guess because I'm sitting there going, I literally saw like under ass of Tori.
We did. We saw
on the train for literally no reason other than to show it to us here at the Right Reality for her to get ass of the week. No other reason for that to be there. Kaz stretching out those hammies.
I mean,
excuse me, do you need help? I'll stretch you out. I didn't mean that way, but I'll do that too.
Greaseback Bun Babe was stretching out as well at that puzzle, and I was getting some Greaseback Bun booty, and I still am crowning Theo. And I honestly think that as a professional, you should respect my opinion.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
It doesn't like mean
I don't want to. Well,
and
I can't question because I'm obviously a journalist and a professional over here. But I will, as always, defer. I'm not saying you have to change it, and that's crazy. I just wanted to make sure that we like the community knew we're aware there was other ass. I mean, this is Mixie we're talking about.
We saw the ass. We compared all of the little hills and mountains and valleys. You know, we checked all of the nooks and crannies. And this is the one that came out, like I said, a cake above the rest. Yeah.
I want to go back just slightly. Well, now that it kind of works in the same manner because right after we were cheering there, we had been shitting on the graphics team literally all year, and we still have at the beginning of this episode. They then were like, how do we get them back in our good graces before the end of this episode?
Yeah.
I got it. Let's show all 4 teams, and then Hunger Games style, turn one of the teams black and white as if they died out there in the abyss.
So good.
Oh.
The visceral yells and screams that came from your apartment.
Man.
Oh my God. Invigorating.
Entirely invigorating. It was like, oh, they quit and you're on that high and you're like, it's like the end of a clap. You're like, okay. And then the clap lulls. There's that tiny lull and then the graphic came up and they went black and white. Just like, oh yeah, I forgot for half a second. Oh, get him.
God, it was nice. It was nice. Guys, we suffered and we were all a little worried that something was going to happen and there was going to be another, in quotations, win for this awful human being, but it did not happen. Excuses are for wussies, and she will not be getting a dub.
Thank God. Let's get on to the train now. The train, express train to day 2. The scariest conductor ever on the face of the earth. Somebody cosplaying as a train conductor decided to come back out again in the same outfit, which was a choice, obviously, and tells everybody that they were DQ'd. I also don't think they used one piece of real TJ audio this entire episode.
I did not see him talk.
Oh, the amount of times they were showing the back of his head or people when he was talking, slightly concerning that maybe he was having a stroke the entire time and they couldn't use it. I don't know what was happening.
Yeah.
But at no point did we ever really see Mr. TJ talk. He tells everybody, oh, this happened. Does anybody else need some help? We have some IVs over there. And I'm just like, are they really IVs? And I'm like, yeah, they just made them do 16 miles and they're going to make them probably do another 16 tomorrow. We can't throw these people out there without food or an IV, for Christ's sake. But then there's like, oh, there's only one for each team. I'm like, that's a little
And
rude.
can we just discuss real quick? Who from which teams went to get that IV? We had Greaseback Bun Babe.
Yeah, because she was in bad shape.
Mm-hmm. We had Cocaine Cass, because cocaine will do that to you. And then we had... Everyone's like, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, Tori, like, it's a girl's time in the back. We get Danny back there.
Danny.
Bad look, sir. Bad look. Not helpful.
He needed it. You could tell at the end of that 16th mile, he was hurting bad.
But for him to sit there and talk all this shit about he's ready for the final, he's going to do it, he's the best, and then cut his female partner to get an IV, I don't know, man. Bad luck. Bad luck.
Yeah, we'll see if Kiki tweets about that. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what she tweets about?
Probably not. Probably not.
I also want to mention this. So they went into because randomly they decided to show us the time. They went in to get the IVs. Let me look here at 8:05. They got the IVs, and if you notice, what happened when they got the IVs, Mixie? They all went to sleep. They went to sleep for about 2 hours. So this whole they're not letting them sleep situation, not true, because then in the other car they were sleeping. It looked like as well. Tori was clearly out, and so they had 2 hours of that, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna have them eat, but that's not weird enough. We just can't have them eat a nice meal. Let's make them put on some weird clothing that makes them look like they're in the Great Gatsby, as Tori said. Your feeling on the fits and the reasoning for this, Mixie?
Like I said before, I was wildly confused the whole time. I'm like, something's happening, but nothing happened. And I'm just like, if you're going to build up to something, at least have like a ghoul, which is my new favorite word, by the way, come like to the window or something. You know what I mean?
Charlie?
Ghouls. Goddamn bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know.
Maybe there was something and it got cut out for time, which doesn't make any sense.
There was something. For unknown reasons, they turned all of these people into dogs and gave them shock collars, which when that was happening, I was like, is this legal?
Is this why they're in South Africa? This is legal in South Africa? South Africa. That's all I kept thinking in my head the entire time. I was like, I just want to hear one person from South Africa come on this show the entire season. And we got nobody to do the South African accent.
You know what else?
Nobody came on and was like, hello, welcome to South Africa. Welcome to our country.
You know who else I was expecting to see were the other
Any of the other
three
hosts? Unbelievable. What happened to these poor people?
Like, what?
Hey, we're all here. Look, I have all your people. I got Bryony and the other two. Yeah, fuck off, mate. See you later. We flew you all the way to South Africa. One from Argentina and one from the UK. We literally flew you here to be in like an hour of television.
Not even. They were there for like 10 minutes, maybe total.
Maybe this is why Paramount had to lay off like a lot of staff last week. It's because they're flying people into South Africa for like 1 hour.
It didn't make
terrible idea. What do we do? I thought all of them were going to be there at the end.
I did too. I was expecting them all to be standing by that trophy that they had for no reason,
or at least the winners like person. So like Kaz's host would have been there with Mr. TJ.
Yeah,
but no, that is not what happened at all. We did not see any of the other hosts. The outfits were weird. The shock collars were even weirder. They made them eat, and I was like, is this going to be weird food? And I was like, no, they got to give them real food. They can't do 16 hours and then another thing and not feed these fucking people. They can't poison them in the middle. I think they all maybe thought that it was going to be like poison food.
Yeah.
There was the one point where Greaseback Bun Baby goes, is that champagne? And Tori's like, yeah. You want some? And she's like, no, I need water.
Yeah.
And Tori's like, great, more for me.
Once again, very confused by people drinking during a final. We'll never understand that.
Give me a delicious Sprite or some water. Or can I get a Powerade or whatever the South African version of Powerade is?
A Gatorade with a little bit of that squirt top?
Something, man. Something, please. But no, they did not get that. They just got a shot collar. And then we go to the next scene. And they're doing like ice baths to keep themselves awake, and they're working together. So I'm going to ask you about them working together to keep themselves awake. Mm-hmm. But obviously, how is the conversation not somebody stepped in and be like, yeah, you have a shot collar on and you're dipping your face in water. Let's not do this, please. Let's not do this, please.
Splashing themselves with water too, like
have we learned nothing from being a child that we don't mix electricity and water together, everybody?
I will say, Stephen, when I saw them working together, it made my heart happy. But then I thought, if that fucking manager of Arby's was there, would it have been this much camaraderie?
They would have probably forced her out, and she would have just been sitting there being like, I don't think we should work together. We're competing against each other.
According to my strategy, we play smart and they play emotional. Blah, 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 blah.
Actually, now that I think about it, there is actually no water in this room because I succubused all of it out of the room.
But she wasn't there because she came in last.
Deal with it, bitch! Oh, God, it was great.
I won't get over it.
Oh, man. And then it was daylight, and they're like, oh, now you can take a nap. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they were supposed to get nap time. But it's more, what do we do? Hold on, what do we do? Do they also cue the timers like, okay, now you can go to sleep, click, and it's like, how am I supposed to fall asleep that quick? Mm-hmm. Poor Tori and Danny, like, they had 15 minutes. I'm telling you right now, Mixie, I wouldn't have gone to sleep. I wouldn't have been able to do 15 minutes.
No, but what they should have done is given them that sleep right after they finished eating. Because when you fall asleep and then you're awoken, you know how much easier it is to fall asleep versus what you're saying where they're like, oh, let's go, you can sleep now. And then right away they got up and started the next day. I feel like they would have probably had more opportunity to give a little zappy zap. But just my thought.
Yeah, the zappy zap, nobody got zappy zap.
Nobody got zappy zap.
So
was it because they drenched themselves in water? Did they play smart?
Oh my God!
And make it so
was
they
this
couldn't
a big
zap
brain
them.
Move?
It could have been. Sarah wasn't there, so yeah.
Probably Jordan's idea, and he's like, "Okay, guys, just hear me out. They can't electrocute us if we're soaked in water. So if we just keep dunking our faces in water, literally, they can't zap us. Which, if true, is like he's coming for your mayor seat of Big Brainville.
I mean, he deserves it. He could take it from me. I will sit next to him on the throne and do whatever he asks. Whatever he asks of me.
Okay. Noted.
Hot. Smash. Smash, smash, smash.
Let's go back to the eating portion where they were able to eat there. It looked like meats and cheeses, right? Is that all you? I didn't see like a turkey leg or any sort of protein. I just saw like meat. I just saw like charcuterie, if you will, like salami and cheese and grapes.
Yeah, it was pretty much just like a fancy coochie coo board. They had like shrimp, I think, too, or like some other like delicacies. But yeah, I think it was pretty basic coochie coo for sure.
Well, since we're talking about this, is it time for you to have the meats?
I would like to enjoy my meats and cheeses. And let's flap our way over to Arby's.
We are going to have the meats now. It is time for Mixie to have the meats. It's meats time.
Meats.
There's some ad placement there. Arby's ad placement. We are more than happy to allow you into the DMs for this, for continuing a relationship here that we have formed early on in this podcast.
Yeah.
Mixie, are you prepared to have the meats?
I am a little nervous. As previously stated, I haven't had the meats in a very long time. Now, according to what the hotties have wanted, I got myself some curly fries, a beef in cheddar, a beef in cheddar.
Classic beef cheddar.
A classic beef in cheddar. And what I was told was a Jamocha shake. Now, the last time I had a Jamocha shake, it was like darker than this. This looks vanilla to me.
It does.
We will see.
Arby's already one strike. Just saying.
I mean, I'm not gonna. It could be it. We don't know. I will know if it's vanilla though. Because of Steven's request, I have Arby's sauce and I have horsey sauce. So I have literally everything I could possibly need here. I think we just go for it.
Yes, I will. I don't know which sauce you would prefer to start with. I say,
should I do a fry?
Yeah, have a fry first. Let's build this up. Let's have a fry first.
Okay, because this one looks really pretty. I mean, look at that. Look at that.
Oh, what a curly fry.
Yeah, okay.
There she goes. She's chewing everybody. It's like she's gone off to the side.
I will not chew into the microphone because that's fucked up. It's a fry. It's nothing special. It's not bad.
Okay.
Let's put some Arby's sauce on it.
Oh, you're going to put Arby's sauce on the fry?
Well, I feel like this is a good way to try it. It's like a bland... Okay. Am I already fucking it up?
I think you are. Just save the sauce. Oh, she's going for it.
Oh, this is not the color I thought it was going to be. Okay. Arby's sauce. Here we go.
Arby's sauce on the curly fry. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if these are supposed to be paired with each other.
I don't love it. I don't hate it. This seems like it might be the theme. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I wouldn't go out of my way for it.
Oh, this is making me nervous, gang.
Now, I do like horsies, so let's see what happens here.
Are you trying to say you're a horse girl?
No, I'm not. No.
Okay.
No, I am not a horse girl.
Just want to make sure for the record, she's not a horse girl. Okay. Now we're going horsey sauce on the fry.
As everybody loved before, it's a little cummy.
Jesus Christ.
This slaps.
Okay. Horsey sauce is in the lead so far over the Arby sauce.
I will ride this horsey all the way home.
Giddy up.
Giddy up. Okay.
Shake time.
Shake time?
Shake time.
Okay.
Let's shake it.
I have to wait to have the meats still?
Yeah, you still got to wait to have the meats. Let's see if this is jamocha enough for you.
Okay.
Or if it's just plain vanilla, literally.
Let's do it.
There she goes. She's sipping. She's looking around.
This is vanilla.
Yeah. God damn it, Arby's.
Fucking Arby's. See, the manager, if the manager was a little bit smarter.
Yeah.
And was a little bit better at their job or what they say they're good at, we wouldn't deal with these problems. That's a vanilla shake for sure.
What a miss from Arby's. Like, we've given them this platform here. And then, how about you unfold that? Just unroll it, get it ready.
Beef cheddar.
Beef cheddar, bless you. And we're going to move to the... Oh, look at that face.
What is on this bun?
Oh, it's like little onion guys on the top. It's like an onion bun.
It's giving everything bagel. Okay, Stephen.
Oh, no. Oh, she's looking off to the side.
The meat is gray. Okay, I'm just gonna. The meat is gray.
The meat is gray. Let me see it. Show it to the camera.
That is gray.
It's a pretty sad looking sandwich for you to get there.
This is a gray meat.
I think that's right. I can't.
What do you mean you think it's right?
Well, first of all, what a sad version for you to get to hold up. Arby's, do better.
When the manager sucks.
We gave you a perfect opportunity to be like, where are they going to order the right reality to slide into the DMs? And they didn't do it. Oh, this is not going to go well.
I'm concerned for my well-being after this. Now, okay, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. It was like a 20-minute drive for them to get it here.
Okay.
But meat should not go gray in 20 minutes. All right, I'm biting into it. Ugh.
So you're going first, no sauce whatsoever.
Sauce. I can't believe I'm going to bite it 3 times.
So here's the thing. I need you to guarantee us that you will take 3 bites. One with a regular,
it's gray,
a horsey.
Steven. It's gray. Look at this motherfucker.
Listen. You have to take 3 bites.
I will not tell you right now. Okay, ready, go.
Okay, here she goes. She picked a part of the bun that had none of the onion stuff on it. It's okay. She's really not liking it. She's really not. Arby's, I still like you. Can we still get a deal going? Okay.
Okay.
Need a review?
The cheddar is good.
Yes.
The texture of this meat, these flappy little bits that are slapping up against each other, is
you are a
unlike...
texture person, though.
I'm painting a picture. It is unlike anything I've ever put in my mouth before.
Okay.
And just like unrelated, I've never gone down on a woman. But like...
Thanks for clarifying. We needed that.
Okay, I'll try it with the horsey sauce because that was good.
Okay.
But I regret how big of a bite I took of this.
That was a very large bite.
Look at look at the inside of this.
Yeah, it's very heavily
gray,
saturated on one side. No, that's the right color. That's what it is. Get some Arby's sauce on there. Get some Arby's or horsey sauce on there.
It's giving raisinette.
How dare you?
See, and you even know that that's an insult. There we go. This is the point I was trying to make before.
I told you had to guarantee 3 bites. It's not my fault. You took a massive bite of it. Okay.
I'm doing it for the people. This is gray. I keep catching it in the camera and I'm like, this is gray. Okay.
She's bitten in for the second bite with the horsey sauce. She's leaning back. Now, let me tell you, Mixie, I believe, is a texture gal when it comes to food.
It's the texture of the meat. I can't. I'm so proud of myself for swallowing this.
Did you want an air horn for that statement? Is that what you wanted?
I don't think I can do a third bite of this.
Wow.
Here's my Arby's order.
Our first brand deal's out of the way, thanks to you.
Listen, I'm never going to lie to the hotties. Not good. Fries, edible. The meats are scary.
I really thought we had a potential brand deal here. I thought I was going to turn you into
could drink this horsey sauce. This was the best thing. Like, by far.
I'm sad that you have not been able to douse that sandwich with some Arby sauce and just allow
Fine, I'll do
that.
it. Fine, I'll do it. But like, I need
it needs a good coating. I go 2 sauce
coating,
packets.
my guy. Look at this shit.
Mixie, I go 2 sauces basically per sandwich. So you got to give that a good coating.
That's a sign of this being a problem. If you have to douse it in sauce, yes, it is.
Okay. Well, excuse me. I have 4 sauces on my I have 4 sauces on my Chick-fil-A sandwich. Are we saying Chick-fil-A is not good?
Are they 4 different sauces?
4 different sauces. Ketchup,
but
mayo,
that's
Chick-fil-A,
different.
buffalo.
That's different. You're like making a new sauce by mixing a bunch of sauces. That's like one of those drinks where you put it in a bunch of different spots. Okay. You know what I mean?
All right. How much did you put on there? Let me see. Okay. All right.
I'm definitely going for the side that is not meaty.
I know. Let's get this over with.
Listen, I'm doing it.
She's having the meats, everybody, because of you.
I don't want to. They're flabby and
She's still having the meats. It's happening. Oh, that was a healthy bite, and I like it. Let's see. She's leaning back again. If you're just listening at home, a small shake of the head. I don't think the Arby sauce helped at all. Maybe she's going to the shake. Is she going to the shake? Is she going to spit it into the... Wow!
I swallowed them and I couldn't. The meats. They have the meats. They do. They have them, but they are not
Jack
good.
Jack in the Box is our next sponsor.
Yeah, Jack in the Box I will fuck with. The mini tacos slap. The milkshake is good even though it's not a Jamocha shake. The curly fries are good. Oh, I lost one.
Well, Arby's, it's your move. If you would like to send us maybe a gift card for Mixie to try something else other than the original meats, maybe one of your turkey things or your brisket things.
Yeah, maybe something that's not gray. Listen.
Yeah, maybe.
Excuses are for wussies, but...
Well, this concludes this non-branded affiliated portion of the podcast. I guess we'll get back to more challenge-related stuff now.
I'm sorry. Back to Mixie that doesn't have to suffer with this meat in her mouth.
Hey-oh. Hey-oh. Well, I'm not going to lie. I was a bit disappointing with the meats. But you had them, and you know what? My hat is off. You tried the meats. You just like the meats. Again, maybe they'll slide into the DMs and be like, oh, no, she used to try the turkey sandwich or something like that. But
well, if it's the number one thing on their menu, I feel like it should not be gray and taste like what I can only assume is a sad, dried up vagina.
Oh, hot take. Speaking of dried up atmospheres, no, just not trying that. That was bad. That was a bad transition to like being on a bike on a dirt path. But yeah. We try here at The Right Reality. We try.
Speaking of dry camel toes, everybody's sitting on a bike.
Oh, I did want to ask you this before we got further. Kaz is wearing leggings for this entire thing. Mm-hmm. And so was Sarah. But meanwhile, I think Tori and Greaseback Bun Babe were in shorts for the final.
And
I need you as a woman to explain to me what you think the better strategy is and why one might wear the leggings versus the shorts. Because I'm all shorts. There's no way I'd wear long pants doing that.
Well, I mean, I'm going to spare you the details.
Oh, okay. I think I'm getting it.
Yeah, I mean, I would without a doubt wear shorts every single time. The amount of hours that are being put in there, the amount of sweat that you are locking in, and other things that are being locked in. I don't know how long they were on that trail, but I can only assume that there was some stops for some pee breaks and maybe some other breaks. You need that airflow, and I think that does, in my mind, kind of really separate the legends from the piece of shit and then the other one that was just trying to let her ass look good. Because, I mean, I will say, leggings do make your ass look better. And
they do.
So, I mean, if you're going for looks and you're willing to roll the dice on the other situations that could happen, leggings are the way to go. But, if you're more prone to those said situations, I would suggest shorts every time. And also just like, I feel like just like the breeze, would be nicer. I would have gone shorts too.
Now maybe you're a little worried about like getting baked out in the sun and like getting a bad tan for the next day. And then you get sunburned or something like that.
Worse tan than having a long leg, like with a weird ankle situation.
That is. I love seeing people who have weird tan lines. I'm like, and I'm in my head, I'm like, oh, they know they have a weird tan line too. And it just sneaks up on you.
I am anti bad tan lines. I only buy things when I know I'm out in the sun that will not give me annoying tan lines. I am very particular about that.
Big brain.
Think it ahead.
Jordan and Kaz are going all the way up this hill, and he's holding her hand the entire time.
Yeah.
I loved this. I really did.
Do you remember what I was yelling?
I don't recall.
I was like, make out.
You did.
Make out.
You did.
They didn't
Wouldn't
do that.
that been something? Right at the end, if they would have made out when they won?
Just out of nowhere.
Just out of nowhere, they just start making out and been like, hell yeah.
I mean, their babies would be fucking stunning.
Can you imagine? Just get them on the challenge already. Have baby challenge.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Challenge baby edition.
Challenge baby edition? Okay. All-Star Shore baby edition?
Challenge diapers 3. Badasses versus good guys. Temper tantrums versus
chill babies. Yeah.
Bottle feeders.
Bottle feeders versus nipple feeders. Yeah. That would have been good ones.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. Also, did you hear? I don't know if you sent this. No, you didn't send this to me. Confirmed ABC fall television program.
Oh, the old people bachelor?
Senior Bachelor.
Finally. I mean, how many years has that been going on?
Senior Bachelor. Now,
hot take, bring back Chris Harrison or I'm not watching it.
somebody mentioned to me Chris Harrison to Love is Blind. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Can you
That
imagine
would be
Chris Harrison
great.
to Love is Blind?
I mean, the Lachey's, I love him. Nick's a hometown guy, and God love him, but he was getting steamrolled by his wife, and that shit was hard to watch.
Oh, Christ. Let's keep going. Let's keep
Yes,
going. But they're holding hands all the way up. I thought that was good. The amount of encouragement he was giving her because she was actually trying and not being like, my ankle. He did the same thing people were complaining about when, Anissa rolled the ankle and she's like, I'm trying, Jordan. This just hurts too much. And he said the same thing. I had the splints are not going to, I've had them all. Slowing down is not going to help. You just got to run through it. And Kaz did it.
She did.
They tried to trick us at some point, Mixie.
Oh, yeah?
Into thinking that Jordan and Kaz were at that puzzle at the same time as Shaggy and Greaseback Bum Babe. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do. And you did call out because your mom was saying, like, oh, they're there at the same time. And you said specifically they would show it, and you were correct. If they were there at the same time, we would see it.
There'd be the shot that we saw like 5 minutes later when it was like an overhead shot.
Yep. Same thing with the keys. Same thing with like doubling back over people. We would see it. If they actually had it happen, we would see it.
1,000%. Because then they tried to pull another fast one on us. And I did not notice this one until my second viewing. There was a portion where Tori and Danny got past Shaggy and Greaseback Bun Babe. And on television, they tried to make it be like they passed them on the way up the mountain. I'm here to tell you, everybody, absolute lie.
Ooh.
Absolute lie. And if you're on YouTube, you can see my evidence. Here is evidence piece numero 1. You can see right here that Shaggy and Greaseback Bun Babe are coming down the hill. They are not going up. They are facing the opposite direction that this camera is clearly pointing. Okay?
Okay.
That is evidence piece number 1. Evidence piece number 2, right here. They are at the top. Shaggy and Greaseback Bun Babe are at the top. Tori and Danny have already got their key and gone back down. But look what is still here. There's another key on the board. There's a key on the board. And Troy, a.k.a. Shaggy, is holding another key. So there was only 3 keys, boys and girls.
Caught. Fucking caught. You can't get shit past us. I am taking full accountability for this happening, even though Steven's the one that found it all. Right Reality will not let you get away with this.
Did you even listen to us doing Joe Millionaire, you guys?
Yeah, not happening.
Also, another reality television news that I'm really pissed off about today. Farmer gets a wife, gets a season 2.
Shut up.
Today, but Joe Millionaire does not. Thanks, writers' strike. Bullshit.
Justice for the butthole that Martin is in.
Justice for Martin's butthole.
He's stuck.
Justice. He's just waiting for more people to show up in his butthole. Nobody's
They're not coming.
Get it? So we just blew that whole thing out of the water. But before that, they went up and got the key.
Yep.
And poor Kaz realized, I got to go all the way back down.
Yeah.
And she reacted exactly as I would. How would you have reacted in that moment, Mix?
I mean, I would have. Here's the thing, though. If you're walking up that hill, you see the flag, and there's no Mr. TJ, you got to be mentally preparing yourself that there's another thing coming. Mr. TJ is at the end.
Mr. TJ's at the end with, like, multiple flags and multiple camera people.
Yeah.
Not just one camera person and one flag. No, not happening.
So, I mean, in that regard, I don't feel that bad because she should have known better. This is not her first rodeo. But, I mean, yeah, that fucking sucks. And I honestly, and your mom said this too, I think going down that mountain is harder than going up.
It would have been awful. Awful. Absolutely awful. I would want nothing. And also, how far back were they going on the way down? We didn't get that. We got the 16 miles the first day. Just tell us how long the second day was. Even if it was like only 5 miles, which I do not believe it was, I think it was like another 10 miles or something like that. Let me know how long. You told us the first time. Why not tell us the second time? If it's short, if it's 4 miles, nobody gives a shit. Now they've done 20 miles and they're going to have to loop around and go back. 24 miles, they do a whole ass marathon.
I also wish that they had shown us the time that everybody finished, because they did say that Jordan and Kaz finished at day 1 14 minutes before everybody else, which is a lot of time.
14 or 17, I think.
Yeah,
it was.
something like that.
Yeah.
Either way, to only get an extra 30 minutes of sleep because of that, and then have no... And I said that to you, too, when they were running that circle. I was like, watch whoever wins get, like, the smallest little advantage and it not matter at all for day 2.
I think there's a season that you're going to see coming up. I don't remember which one it was. Maybe War of the Worlds 2. I completely forget. But there was one where I feel like they allowed them to have like an hour head start because that's what they earned on the first day. And it was clearly over as the second day started.
Well,
basically.
I don't think that he should have gotten the 14 or 17 minute head start,
Right.
but at least like 3 or 4,
Yeah.
you know?
I do like the idea that there should be, like what they did, I think 30 minutes of sleep versus no sleep. Or 15 minutes, or an hour versus 15 minutes.
Or like put a weighted backpack on like the next 2 and they get, 10 pounds and the other one gets 20 pounds. I don't know, something. I get like the 15, 30 minutes of sleep, sure. But like that in my brain, exactly what you said. I'm not sleeping.
And the one puzzle on the second day, okay. I get that it was a tough one, but I don't think anybody's like losing a whole bunch of time on that. I could be wrong again. I don't know. It's one of those slider puzzles and you can kind of get stuck on that in a while. But you know what? This was clearly built to be an endurance type of final.
I thought you were going to say it was clearly built for Jordan to win, because it kind of was.
I mean, but that's what he does.
Yeah.
He does well in these, no matter what it is. He's still good at the puzzles. He's just so well built for this game that unless he gets partnered with Anissa and he's in the final, I mean, listen, if he was with any of the other women, I think in this in final, including Sarah, they would have won, I think. I think he would have dragged Sarah up that hill. He would have yelled and berated her, which would have actually been hysterical.
Amazing.
And then he would have thrown her off the top of the mountain and then done it himself. He's like, too bad I still won.
You goddamn bitch.
You goddamn bitch. I threw her off the mountain, you goddamn bitch. You can't win now. You win nothing on this show.
I'm happy for Cocaine Kaz. I think we now know how she was able to finance her habit. And I'm happy for her. Do I wish it was Shaggy and Greaseback Bun Babe? Yes. Did I ever think I would say I wish it was Greaseback Bun Babe? No.
Can you imagine if I told you at the end of last year that we both would be rooting for Greaseback Bun Babe in a final? I think that just goes to show you
The power of Shaggy.
the power of Shaggy. The absolute power of Shaggy and the power of us just wanting to get shit all over Emily.
Yeah.
Just brought Shaggy, like, it brought the personality out of Greaseback Bun Babe, as we said, and we're like, oh my God, who is this person? We all of a sudden like, this is amazing. And you know what? She was falling apart, and they still finished.
And I will say, I loved, like, she was vocal about her issues, but she wasn't, like, complaining. Or, I don't know, coming up with excuses?
Because they're for wussies. Look at the shirt.
They're for wussies.
Look at the shirt.
What the shirt says. I don't
It's
say
right there. She got this shirt for you to see on YouTube. It's right there. Look at the shirt.
There was no excuses, you know, she did her best. She kept going. She didn't stop. I respect the hell out of it. Good for you, Greaseback Bun Babe. I hope you were able to get Babe a chair to apologize for not getting that dub and bringing it back to her. I'm sure she appreciated it just as much.
I want to actually know, like, what was, like, hurting, like, from her, because we didn't really get a clear. She just said my body's breaking down, right?
She said that it was something with her legs because of the hall brawl. She like tweaked something, or like I'm sure digging in that sand and having that gangly thing just like grabbing your body parts while you're trying to move in a different direction. That can't be.
How dare you talk about other Babe like that?
No, not Babe.
Oh, okay.
Pocket pussy. So I was sad to see Shaggy and Greaseback Bun Babe not win. I was not sad about Danny and Tori's ending. I did give Sarah a majority of the shit this season, but Danny was right there with her doing the same shit. So, sucks to suck.
It does suck to suck, doesn't it? It really does suck to suck.
Yeah.
And it just shows if you have bad people around you, bad things are probably going to happen to you. It's also what we've learned on Vanderpump Rules this season.
Facts.
Just, man, I've been watching. I was holding off until I could watch all of them
These
and kind of
are the best days
I was holding off till I could watch almost all of them within a 5-day window, and let me tell you, that is the way to watch that show, boys and girls. Week to week is a non-starter for me anymore. I am watching them in bunches. If there's another season, which I have to imagine they'll do another season.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got picked up already.
You just gotta watch those in like 3 or 4 episodes chunks. They are just the when you pay rent, you then watch the last 4 weeks of Vanderpump. That's what you do.
That's what you do.
But Jordan and Kaz are the winners. I loved how he was like, "You go over the finish line.
Yeah.
You do this.
Yeah.
Like all of those little things. You get the trophy. You unlock that. That's yours. Look what you earned." That's what I'm saying. Like there are times where he is an absolute shithead. But then look at that. Look at those moments.
I agree with you. I do think that he is actually a good person. Everyone's like, oh, you keep saying you're going to be better, and then you do it again the next season. Sure, he loses control. We are all fucking human beings. But that guy ran 16 miles, got 1 hour of sleep, biked all of that, ran it again, did a bunch of puzzles, and he still was selfless enough to be like, you do this. And I loved it, too. I did. I thought it was awesome and put a smile on my face.
It was like, look at what you earned, not what we earned, what you earned. I don't think many other people would have said that on this season.
No.
No. Not too many. I do. I can't even remember. TJ switched out of that fucking get up.
He
by
did.
The end,
Yes,
right?
he was in normal people clothes, and it was very refreshing.
I think maybe they had him FaceTime Johnny Bananas so Johnny Bananas could see what he was wearing. And Johnny was like, Jesus Christ, Teach, get that the fuck off of your body. I would have wished Bananas was in the final just so he could like comment on camera. Been like, Jesus Christ, TJ.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
He would have been on camera like, really, guys? Fear Express.
Yeah.
That's the best you could do.
TJ wearing that gives me all the fear because I feel like you've snatched his body. Like you've implanted him with an alien in there because he looks dead inside. He looks dead inside. Big win for Jordan. I think this gives Jordan if anybody didn't think he was one of the best of all time, I mean, look at it. Look at his record. Look at his fucking record now.
Yeah.
It is
impressive.
very, very impressive. How did you feel? So this is your second time seeing Jordan do a final, first time seeing him win. What did you think, like, watching him where you were like, oh, I kind of get why we should get him out so early?
I mean, I already knew it. I mean, I agree with you. Ride or dice, he would have won if it was anybody else but Anissa. Like, he would have. I kept thinking, because, like, I'm watching old seasons. I'm a few in now. I want to, like, I know it's impossible to do, but I want a prime CT versus a prime Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's
in a final,
like, going against each other just to, like, see that happen, I feel like would just be incredible athleticism. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I've trusted your judgment on this the whole time. You got to get Jordan out early. And I don't understand why Tori, like, I get it, they're friends or whatever, but she's got to know every time that he's in there, if Anissa's not tied to his ankle, like, he's getting that dub.
Yeah, you got to try to, like, that's really tough because you're like, but I also want to win $500,000.
Yeah.
I didn't just come here to hang out and run 16 miles for basically nothing.
You're not marrying him. So
yeah, you're not getting part of that anymore. I would like to win as well. So what do we do? I think maybe she's like, but she didn't like let anybody try to like vote him out or anything this year at any point where you have to do, which is again, hot topic. Sarah putting in Johnny Bananas in the season before. You got to do that.
Yep.
You can't let Bananas go to another final at that point. This is what he does. So this is Jordan's track record now. Rivals. So these are the finals he's been to. He's been on 2 seasons where he did not get to the final. Let's just say that. So he's now been on out of flagship shows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flagship shows. He has won three of them and got to the finals of 5. So he was 3 for 5.
The other final that he didn't win, did he have a teammate?
It was It was Rivals 2. Yes, he had a teammate.
Point proven. Oh my God, we didn't even discuss this. We need to discuss this very quickly. Shaggy carried Greaseback Bun Babe at one point.
He did. I don't know how far, but he still tried. He did it.
A goddamn gentleman, that man.
Before we get to our wrap up, I'm just going to say this.
Oh God.
We're back to 4-4, everybody. Because some idiot comes in and leaves a review saying, the most cringeworthy challenge podcast out there. Have you listened to others? Were the most cringeworthy?
I don't care. Fuck that guy.
The guy in the show is obnoxious. I guess that's me. And it's hard to listen to.
What do you mean that you guess that's you? It's not me.
Challenge Mon, get wrecked.
Yeah.
Get wrecked.
Sit on a cactus, fuckface.
I saw all your other reviews of other podcasts except for one. You just seem to hate everything. 1 stars, 1 stars, 1 stars, 1 stars. Interesting.
As someone in the hotties said, I'm sure he's a blast at parties.
Oh, God. I was just about to ask, like, what do you like in real life? I'm sure you love everything, Challenge Mon. You know, just we'll say that. There's one review that I'll leave for the end that is a 5-star, but I just want to throw that out there before people tune out. If you've left a review already, please do not delete said review and post a new one. I already know somebody did that. That's fine, but we lose the review for a couple days. It just goes away. So we actually lose reviews, and the percentage points are harder to gain back. So just again, grab a loved one's phone and do it on there, or somebody at work. Be like, hey, can I borrow your phone real quick? Boom, 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 boom. Do that, please. So, getting back to it. Mixie, your thoughts on the end of the year. We've made it to the end. How are we feeling?
I was pleasantly surprised with this season. I was expecting it to be as bad as Challenge USA. It was not, thank God, because that would have been rough. I do think that I wish that the whole, countries things played into it a little bit more. That whole thing was dropped immediately.
You said it so early on.
And then picked up randomly when it was convenient. And also lots of information was forgotten. And then people were backstabbing when actually they were the one that backstabbed first. I won't get into that. But overall, I'm very happy with this season. I really do hope that the flagship picks up some of these people. Like, I think Shaggy would be a great addition. I think that Justice for Justine. I really like Justine. I would like her to be coming back. I do think that there are some people. Kiki.
Yeah.
Great. Loved her. If you bring Sarah back, I will fucking find you.
Good Lord, I can't imagine that. I don't even... Mixie, let's not even think about that possibility.
Other than that, I was happy with the season. What did you think, Stephen?
I'm now just thinking about the horrible possibility in the next season of the flagship that Sarah could be on the show. And I'm just letting you guys know right now, I don't think I could do another season where she's on and do a podcast about it. It might send me to the brink and just going, we'll just come back next season. I don't know. Overall, you are right. I thought this was going to be
Cheers to that. I'm always right.
worse than what we got. Pleasantly surprised. I think that had a lot to do with who won and who nearly got there. Mm-hmm. Again, there was things along the way that we definitely did not like. It felt like we got one hall brawl. There was no like pole wrestle. The eliminations didn't feel as physical as the big show. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. But then don't give me a final that's like a real final almost in a way.
Yeah.
Like if we're going to kind of sidestep that because we don't feel like those people can handle that, then don't give me the final the way we did. So that's the only thing that I am kind of still a little upset about.
Oh, I did also want to say, sorry, real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Challenge USA did something that I liked, and I wish that they had carried it into this. And I didn't see the other world challenge things, so maybe they did it, maybe they didn't. Challenge USA, you had to get a certain amount of, like, I think it was points or money or something in your bank, and you could get it from, yes, to qualify, from winning a daily or from winning an elimination. And I would just like to state for the record, Sarah won one single daily and no eliminations, and Danny won nothing. And they were two of the 4 teams in the final, and I don't like that.
You're not wrong.
Kind of some bullshit.
If we're going to do this, keep it going. Everyone played by a different set of rules. Mm-hmm. Like the other shows had far less people.
Yes.
They did similar eliminations, but those eliminations were based off again, this was so slapped together from a corporate standpoint. This is one of those things that at corporate, they're like, this is the idea I want you guys to do. And then the people who do it get in a room and like, okay, but these are all the problems. They go, yeah, we don't care. Just do it. And it's like, okay. And they slap this thing together and it went not great. And I think for the people who are big fans of this show, if you're going to do it, give them the real show.
Yep.
That's the whole idea, right?
Yep.
Give them the real show. Don't have like, oh, well, USA had 25 people, 30 people, but the UK had 8 on the show, and there were 6 episodes of it or something.
Yeah.
They didn't even play the same thing. Kaz even said, oh, I did a final, but it was nothing like this. Mm-hmm. I just don't know how we can square those things if we're thinking about it from that standpoint, which is just kind of crazy. But you're right. The money aspect, and then we don't have that in this. It should have been the same format. Mm-hmm. Be like, oh, this is what we did in your version. Now we're just taking everybody who won those versions, and we're doing the same version of it. And be like, oh, you won the World Series of Baseball? Great. Now you're going to play a game you're going to play cricket. It's like baseball, but it's not. It's the same idea. You hit something and it tries to go far, and then you run. Same thing, right?
If I could choose between 2 more seasons of this and one season of the flagship, I'm picking the flagship every time. Still, I will say, like, I just,
even at being the length that it is, you'll still take that version of the show.
I just feel like there's more background to it. Like, there's just more like outside situations happening. Like the Aussies, like they were the only ones that really had like anything going on. Everybody else was just kind of like there, Yeah. Whereas like I feel like the flagship show has like all of these different dynamics of all of these different people that some have played together a bunch, other ones haven't. Like there's all of this, kind of stirring of the pot. And then again, like you said, the dailies are harder in my opinion, and the eliminations are harder in my opinion.
Well, a lot more physical stuff. Sometimes there's some, a more puzzle-based thing.
Is there too many people?
Hall brawls and pole wrestles and balls in and stuff like that.
I don't know. Just to me, I feel like there's more background to it, and maybe also because I'm rewatching old seasons and like seeing these other people, and there's just more to that. I don't know. I think that has a lot to do with it. Yeah. I think I would take a long main show.
Well, enough of us talking here real quick. I teased it early on. Ladies and gentlemen, with her thoughts of the season, it is Mom LaFranc. No video for our YouTube people. Sorry about that. There was no video. It's just Mom LaFranc. Here we go.
Hello, audience.
Guys, she doesn't like doing this. She kind of gets embarrassed sometimes.
Well, I do. You kind of sprung this upon me this evening by handing me a microphone and telling me to speak into it. So,
Well, here's the thing. If I would have told you all day long after we watched, we would have done this. You would have said, no, and worried all through dinner. What are you going to say? What are we going to say? What are we going to talk about? And all I'm going to say is we just watched the final about 2 hours ago with Mixie, and now the season is over. Sarah did not win.
yay. No, I'm very happy Sarah did not win. I wish she didn't win on her own account, but she has an excuse that Theo twisted his ankle, which seems to happen to someone every season, going back a few seasons. Something happens, so I'm sure she'll blame it on him. But
excuses are for wussies. Remember that.
oh, that's true. I never saw the shirt either, but Mixie says it happened. I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
Eagle eye Mixie right there.
I
watching
know she
everything.
does. Wish seeing the asses and seeing the. I'm sorry, I'm too old to be saying that word. I apologize.
We finished watching, and I think you said, "Did you see any asses?" I didn't see any asses this week, and Mixie clocked it. She goes, "Oh, there's at least two."
She did say that. I don't think she watches the show. She's just looking for asses here and there, and she catches them. She does.
Just picking them out left and right.
Yes.
Just seeing them and going, "Oh, ass, got it. Save this
Ass,
one for
got it.
myself. I'll remember this one later."
Yeah.
How did you feel about the season overall? It's a shorter season, but it's over now. You almost didn't want to watch the beginning of the season because of Sarah. Sarah didn't win, but how do you feel now that it's all over?
No, I thought it was another good season. I mean, the whole premise of the thing was so different to any season we've seen before with all the international people. So I like that. I like the English people, the Australian people, of course. I don't know. We had someone from what were the other two countries?
Argentina and the U.S.
Argentina. Were they really in it? I don't remember any of them. They were out very soon, weren't they? Oh, there was some really cute girl who you liked at the beginning, right?
I mean, there was a lot of them, to be honest.
Okay, cute.
And they were there at the end. Cocaine Kaz was there at the end, baby.
Yeah, you did like her, didn't you?
Yeah, we all did.
I don't know. Sarah, she got on my nerves on the USA one because she kept complaining. And anyone who watches Vanderpump Rule knows we don't like Katie Maloney because she just complains all the time. I don't know what it is.
We were watching Vanderpump this week as well, and I'm just like, Sarah's kind of like Katie Maloney. It's just always somebody else's issue, and just, I don't know. We should do a Vanderpump thing. Me and Mixie should do a little Vanderpump talk as well, because this season's pretty unhinged. But yeah, there's some correlations to be made with that. Jordan and Kaz won. Were you happy with that? Were you cheering?
Very happy.
Cheering for anybody other than Sarah and Theo?
Not really. I was happy they won. Really happy they won. They didn't show at the end whether they gave any money away, but Stephen's telling me no, definitely not. Jordan wouldn't have done that.
I don't think so.
I just know that, and I kept saying through every episode, if you don't get Jordan out, he's going to win. It's a gimme. They got Bananas out. He would have won, or competition between the two of them, but Jordan's just good at everything.
Jordan's good at everything, and if he has got a partner who will run with him and at least keep up and not, complain the entire time, they
Who are you
probably
talking
gonna
about?
win.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna win.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite moments from this season, or anybody that stuck out to you? You're like, oh, I want to see that person on the big show. I like them a lot.
I think I'm kind of like Mixie. There were so many people at the beginning, it was hard to keep count of them.
Okay, we'll go through. Would you like to see Shaggy again?
Oh, yeah, I like Shaggy.
Shaggy can stay. Okay. Would you like to see Kiki back?
Kiki's the one with the long hair who just recently got out a couple
With
weeks
Darrell,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I did like her. I thought she had a good attitude.
What about Emily?
Emily, I thought she was an okay girl. I mean, obviously she was great at swimming. Yeah.
Yeah.
What amazing in the water. Well, who wouldn't be if they were an Olympic swimmer? But yeah, if she was in the final and it was anything to do with swimming, the odds would have been against everyone else.
I think they would have done really well in the final, those two.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah. I think so too.
How did you like the final overall? I mean, you said like when they got to the checkpoint, you're like, oh, they're just gonna have like a little head start, and then there was no head start. It was just you get to sleep for a little bit longer than everybody else.
That was the only thing, and we've seen that when they've done finals before, where you think, hey, I'm gonna win the first half of it. It's gonna give me a huge head start.
Yeah,
and it doesn't ever seem to work like that.
No, I don't think they do that anymore. They just don't give anybody like, oh, you finished here an hour earlier, you get to go out an hour before everybody else. They just don't really do that anymore.
I like the train ride where everyone was trying to keep each other awake. That was really funny.
That was good.
Throwing water all over each other.
How did you feel about TJ wearing that outfit the entire time?
Oh, my God. How much extra did they have to pay him to put that hat on? I'm so sorry, TJ. I mean, he's a very handsome man, but he looked ridiculous with that hat on.
He looked as if they pulled a homeless man off the street and gave him a jacket to wear, because the jacket wasn't
Didn't
even
fit
fitting.
either. No, the jacket did not fit. Some stupid tie.
Yeah.
But the hat was just like, come on, Thomas the Train stuff. It was just, no. And he wasn't smiling at all
No.
during those scenes. You could, come on.
He did not want to be in that outfit.
You give him any, baseball cap, something like that. He could have pulled it off, but no.
I'm supposed to believe that Mr. BMX Hall of Fame legend, Mr. TJ, who sometimes is a train conductor as well.
Have you got to add that to when you talk to him? No.
I don't want to, but I think the decision has been made for us.
It looked really bad. Didn't it?
Mr. TJ, Hall of Fame BMX legend, who sometimes handles and is a train conductor on the weekends. You know,
I guess that's what it is. Yes.
just weekend train conducting.
Weekend train. Where does he live? Do they have trains?
Las
where he lives?
Vegas.
I don't know if do they have trains
I
around
don't
there?
think so.
I don't think so. Yeah.
If you were getting on a train because you lived in England for a long time and would take the train, if the conductor was dressed like that, would you get on the train?
Oh my God. No, I don't think so. It's like they went back in time.
I don't think this train is safe to be on.
No.
No.
It was not good. Back to Sarah.
Yeah, back to Sarah and how much we hate her.
No, I just think that they must have paid her some kind of sponsorship thing, because every single episode she was talking, more so than anyone else.
I think her and Tori were up there in probably time. I think there's an account that tracks the time that they were talking. But it makes sense that she got to the final if she was talking that much.
That's true. That's why we were so worried that she was going to win, because they kept showing her.
Oh, that celebration the three of us had because Mixie came over and watched. I'm sure we've already said before you guys have listened to this.
It was very good. Yeah, I'm very happy that happened.
It made watching the rest of the episode was a big relief that we didn't have to worry. Like anything else, any other scenario that played out, I would have been cool with at that point.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. We'll have another season coming soon, I'm sure.
I'm sure we will. Of this show or another show. Who knows? Oh, big tease. All right, Ma, love you. Thanks for
Love
being
you.
here. Say hi to all the hotties and everybody.
Hi, hotties. Thank you for...
All the Mother's Day wishes. I showed them
I
to
know.
her, guys.
I know. Yeah, that was wonderful. Thank you so very much.
All right,
Thank
we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Love you. Oh, was that great to hear from Mom?
What a great way to top off this season with a little Mama Frank.
God, they're so great. And I know a lot of you people miss Mama Frank. Just the way we do these now, it's a little bit harder because we have screeners, no big deal. I also saw another podcast review for a different challenge podcast where somebody was like, I love so-and-so's mom on the show.
I think they commented it on the wrong thing. I think they
Obviously
were
they
confused.
had to,
Yeah.
because nobody else would be ballsy enough to pull that move. So be careful. Speaking of reviews, we have 2 reviews and 1 hottie. So we're gonna go to the reviews. We got to get the reviews out because it will be a little while till we are back. This one comes from Jeremy, the Game Overlord, which I'm just going to take a stab at it. I'm going to take a stab that this is Stephanie's husband. Stephanie, I think this is your husband. Stephanie, who is a hottie, said her husband isn't a big podcast guy, but he listened to the first 15 minutes of the episode. He was hooked. He says, I'll listen because these two are fucking gold. That is a quote. And then she said, he picked an Ass of the Week worthy name without knowing that it's a thing. It's super similar to my Apple Podcast name, which she doesn't know either. So maybe it's a different butt peach. I don't know. Maybe it was a different butt peach, but we'll see. So we'll see. Maybe this is him. This is Jeremy, the Game Overlord. It says this is kind of embarrassing. 4.5 star rating, Tim Apple. That's a joke. They are at least a 5-star. I do recommend starting from the beginning of the season. That way you'll understand a lot of the jokes. Always a must listen to, or not if it's up or not. Also, check them out on YouTube. So now I'm thinking maybe that's not.
No, it doesn't sound
Stephanie's
like it.
husband. It doesn't seem like that.
But I appreciate the engagement and thank you for that.
Thank you so much for that. This one comes. Oh, we're splitting up. We're doing a hottie in the middle of this.
Now let me welcome our only hottie. I will say there are 2 hotties pending. I cannot let you in if you do not answer the questions. Go back and answer the questions. Thank you. This hottie is from Chicago, Illinois. We have Julie Orlandi.
I missed this.
Orlandi. Oh my God, I'm having a stroke. Okay, I have been
really
drinking
missed
champagne.
this.
And I had those meats that were questionable. Julie Orlandi. Julie Orlandani. Stephen, how in God's name am I supposed to say that name? You say it.
You just did. You did such a good job. You did a great job. I think that's perfect for this to be the one hottie we have at the end of the year. For you to stumble over it like 4 or 5 times and try to blame that it was the champagne.
Listen, it's
big
not.
brain. Big brain. It's not the champagne, boys and girls. Let's just be honest.
That is a ridiculous last name. I appreciate you joining the hotties and thank you so much. This is not an attack on you. It is an attack on whoever spelled your last name, however hundreds of years ago that was. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I now have beef with somebody that's definitely dead.
Yeah. That's what happens sometimes. Our last review of the season comes from Little KK Junt. Little KK Junt. It says pure gold, 5 stars. I've been looking for a challenge podcast with the same views on the show as me. Yes. This podcast is everything. I was just listening to it at the gym via headphones. Well,
I would hope so.
Humble brag. And people were staring at me because I kept laughing randomly so hard. Y'all are hilarious. The nicknames you had for people had me cackling. Sorry, not crackling.
So who can't read now?
Well, listen, that's part of the show. I can't read.
You're sober.
Yeah, I am. I heard y'all say Casey's nickname like 5 times before I understood what y'all were saying, and I died. Literally spit out my water. We got somebody to spit out their water at the gym next.
I love that. That makes me really happy. It's also probably my favorite nickname we have, although Shaggy's right up there because that is spot on.
Shaggy's pretty good, too. This is the best episode of the challenge I've seen in a long time, and I wanted to immediately listen to a podcast to listen all about it so I could geek out over about it all over again. Thank you so much for posting so quick. I had the same reaction to the elimination. I was bouncing off the edge of my seat, yelling, "Hit her like a train, Casey!" Best podcast ever. I'm so glad I found y'all. Can't wait for next week's episode. I found my people. No, you know what? We found you.
Oh. When you're here, your family. We have the meats.
That's like 2 different slogans. When you're here, your family. Who is that?
Olive Garden.
Oh, my God.
Italiana. Cacio pepe.
Ketchup pep. Does Olive Garden have ketchup pep?
I don't know.
Ketchup pep.
It's not real Italian. Anyways, I appreciate you guys sticking with us this season. It was an absolute blast. We are going to take a break. It's a little needed.
Yeah, we need some non-podcasting times. That does not mean
we don't
there might
love
not
you.
be an interview somewhere in the meantime. Maybe 2 interviews somewhere coming up. Who knows? We might already know the next show we're doing. I don't know, but we're taking a brief pause for a bit, guys. But let us know you're out there, and we love you. and we will see you sometime in the future. Okay.